Black Widow, $114,000. I thought we were done seeing $114,000 trucks. But as Ron White, the great comedian, used to say, you can't fix stupid. We are here at Interstate Ford up in Frederick, Colorado. So you've got engines, transmissions, parts content. So the question is, should you even be looking at these right now instead of waiting till maybe after tax season or the summer? Now there is a chance, if the stock market does not crash, that prices are going to actually go up on these vehicles. I know it's crazy to think, but let's take a look at this Tremor, for example. We're going to see if we can find a parts list here. We've got $80,000 on this. So this has the 3.5 liter EcoBoost, which in 2024, the 3.5 EcoBoost was made in Mexico, while all of the other variants were not. We've got the Roush F-150 here at $93,000. $93,000 trucks, still a thing. And it's probably not going to stop until people stop buying them. So this guy, US Canadian parts, 45% assembled in Dearborn, Michigan, engine and transmission US. A little bit more of a normal trim. Here we go. Here's an XLT. So we got 63,000 on this sticker. So it does have the 3.5 EcoBoost. White one with the 3.5 EcoBoost. Oh, look at that. The 3.5 engine is made in Mexico. So all of the other variants, I believe the 5 liter, the 2.7, everything else is the US. I think the 3.5 is the only one made in Mexico. But that is going to make the 3.5 go up in price. Transmission, United States, assembled in Dearborn, Michigan. So US Canada parts, 45%. That's another thing. You're going to see a little bit of a bump in tariffs from the Canadian side. In addition to that, even though some of these trucks are built in the US, or maybe they're assembled and built in the US, if we get the aluminum and the steel from Canada, there's like anywhere between a 25 and 50% tariff gonna happen there. So this one has the 3.5 Power Boost sitting at 63,000. Every time I see these trucks, I'm just like, I'm always shocked at how much they cost. I don't know why. I shouldn't be. I've been doing this for long enough. So here, a little bit less United States content on this F-150 XLT. So this is 32% US Canada, Dearborn, Michigan. Again, Mexican engine, transmission US. So that 10-speed is in the US, but you know, where do they source the aluminum and steel for it? Now I think the Expedition's probably a little bit better. So here's an Expedition Limited. The Expedition, 25% US Canadian, 15% from Mexico. Kentucky assembly, engines from Mexico, because that's the 3.5. Transmission is China? Is that what that is? Holy smokes. Wait a second, is that a Chinese transmission, or what is that? What does that mean? I think it must be. That's kind of weird. Am I crazy? 10-speed automatic. Why would that say CHN? I would assume that's the abbreviation. You guys will have to let me know in the comments. I'm not trolling you, I promise. Let's go the Ranger. All right, what do we got on these little Ford Ranger XLT? All right, the Ranger is going to be 46% US Canadian, Mexican 20%, and assembled in Wayne, Michigan, US for the transmission and engine. Not bad. Not bad for the little Ranger. It's got the 2.7. So yeah, just like I thought, the 2.7 EcoBoost is the United States, 10-speed is the US on this, and $48,000. Holy buckets. $48,000 for a Ranger XLT. I mean, go figure. Who would have thought? So here's a gorgeous blue Lariat. $55,000 for this Ranger. It is the 2.7 and it is the Lariat package. What a pretty color. Not worth $55,000, not even close. You got the mini truck here. Now you tell me, I get that people love these things, but this bed is like the size of the back of my SUV. So these things are just so tiny. I don't understand why it's such a popular truck. I guess the mileage. All right, 2-liter EcoBoost. We are looking at $30,000 for this mini truck. Again, I don't know. That's just bizarre. $31,000 after the Castle Rock VIP package with low jack. Probably don't do those things if you're buying this. This is just an XLT, by the way. XLT at 30 grand. All right, so the Maverick, 27% US Canadian, 60% Mexico, assembled in Mexico, engine and transmission in US. So yeah, the Maverick, Maverick's definitely going to be hit by the tariffs. It's kind of similar to the Bronco, not quite as bad, but man, it's not looking real good for Ford. I know the Maverick's been selling like crazy. People really like them. I don't know. I'm only 6'1". I'm not like abnormally tall, and I got in one of those things. They're just tiny. I don't like being in a car that small, especially not for that price. I would just buy a larger truck. All right, we're gonna look at this. Where do you think the parts are from this one? I bet it's all American made. What do you guys think? F350. All right, what do we got? $91,000. It was assembled, shipped through Kentucky, so I'm assuming that's where it's assembled.
So these F350s use aluminum body technology just like all Fords, so they will be slightly affected.
FX4 off-road. Let's go check the real Broncos. Now this is more my style, the Badlands. So 2.7 EcoBoost in the Badlands, $67,000. We're looking at 16% Mexico, 42% US, Canada. US on the engine transmission, that's good, assembled in the US. So the Broncos will probably go up a tiny bit, but all these Broncos here, in theory, these shouldn't be quite as affected. They will go up some by the tariffs, but I would imagine they won't go up nearly as much as those little Bronco Sports. Let's take a look here at this lovely little Bronco Sport. The Bronco Sport has the 1.5 EcoBoost. It's $35,000 for this tiny little thing. See what this little motorcycle engine car has. Oh yeah, US, Canada. So we're looking at 23% US Canadian parts, Mexican 64%, assembled in Mexico, and engines from Mexico, transmissions from the US. Oh, these little Bronco Sports, they are going to go up in price. I don't know how they're going to. I think Ford's going to have to eat the cost, because who's going to spend more than $35,000 on these little Bronco Sports? Same thing here, 64%. They're all going to be this, because the Bronco Sports are pretty consistent in their packages. Look, we've got the little Escapes. I'm not going to go through a lot of Escapes, but I do want to get some idea of what they have in them. $41,000 for this little dude. It's got the 2.5 liter hybrid engine, eCVT. Oh yeah, this one's going to go down with the tariffs as well. 36% US, Canada, 27% Mexico, assembled in Kentucky. Engines from Mexico. The Escapes, same thing. Enough of the Mexican Canadian parts that these are probably going to go up. I don't know how Ford's going to sell them. They're going to have to eat some of this cost. Who's going to spend $45,000 on these things? Oh, look at this one. Look at this guy from the factory. Such a beast. I could walk under that thing. I could limbo under it. What do you think this is coming in at? Black Widow, $114,000. I thought we were done seeing $114,000 trucks. But as Ron White, the great comedian, used to say, you can't fix stupid. Here's some Mustang, the Mach-E's. Oh, the Mach-E. The Mach-E is gonna be screwed with tariffs. It's 12% US Canadian, 72% Mexico, and Mexico on the engine transmission, which is, it's all electric. This is pretty sweet. Guess you can't complain. You've got stock everywhere, right? What do we have on this guy? Here we go. We got the 2.7. Looks like they reprinted this one. And this should be made in the US, but there's no parts list on this one. Nice deep, used to call it a cherry red, but I don't know what the Ford color is now. You have to tell me in the comments. 45% US Canadian, assembled in Michigan, engine, Mexico, transmission US. So that is, again, a 3.5. I heard a story about someone with one of these recently. Didn't even have 120,000 miles on it. I can't remember what year it was, maybe like a 2020 or something, or a 2018. And we had to replace both turbos in it already before 120,000 miles. Crazy. So, you know, pick your poison. Everybody's got their problems. Here's the 3.5 again, 66,000. So you have to let me know what you think about Ford here. Do you think they're going to struggle with these tariffs? I think they're going to. I think Ford, General Motors is another one with the GMC Sierra and the Silverado. They're going to struggle. They have some SUVs that are also all Mexican made. It's just, whether it's from Canadian aluminum, steel, or Mexico assembly, the Tacoma, it's also involved in this. So we're going to see big changes in the car market. It's definitely why you saw the stock market recently just going all over the place. The reason the stock market has been up and down, up and down, up and down is mostly due to that tariff talk. So it will definitely be interesting. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Till next time.